Welcome, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order. We'll stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the God, indivisible. Great. I'm going to move to the open forum. Does anybody have anything to state that is not on this current agenda? Okay. Anybody on line one? Okay, I will close the open forum and go to the consent agenda. We're going to consider the approval of minutes from the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held on January 12th of 2026. And I will take a motion whenever anybody is ready.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Those a second?
I'll second.
All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries that the minutes have been approved. All right, now we're going to start our regular agenda for item 5A. We're going to discuss and consider action on historic overlay case HO 2025-02 regarding a historic overlay designation on one parcel of land approximately 0.18 acres in size, more particularly described by Nacogdoches Central Appraisal District Parcel 23796 and located at 515 Bailey Avenue, Nacogdoches, Texas. All right, Juan?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So this property is located between North Mount Street and Regay Street, adjacent to Memorial Hospital. Regay Street, which is a medical office that was approved to be placed on historic overlay last year.
Are you on?
It's on.
Yeah, okay.
This property is surrounded by, this property and surrounding properties are zoned medical. This house was built around 1950 and was originally used to house staff of the adjacent medical office owned by Dr. James Taylor. And this is the front of the house. Sides, the back. Staff sent out 9 notices to property owners within 200 feet, and no responses were received. Staff believes that this request meets the conditions of designation. The Historic Landmark Preservation Committee met on February 9th and voted to approve the item. And I'll be happy to answer any questions after the public hearing.
Okay. Great. Does anybody have any comments for public hearing? Okay, we'll close that. Does anybody have any questions on this house and this property? I do. It was voted to be approved for the historic overlay. Are there any plans or anything to renovate, update, or is this structure going to continue to sit like that?
From my understanding, it's just it's going to be continued to be as is.
Okay. Are there any inhabitants in it?
Not to my knowledge. Jessica was supposed to be here, and she would have had a little more knowledge about the house specifically.
The reason why I ask is because while we put an overlay on it, if it comes into dilapidation, what are the laws on that in terms of ordinances? Who's going to be required to fix it? Who's going to repair it? If it becomes a structural issue and it's endangering people if they're walking to it, through it, what are we doing for that?
Well, then at that point, it would be a code violation. Code would condemn the house, and they would either have to fix it or tear it down. But I'm pretty sure it's been inhabited recently.
By
I'm
renters?
not sure if there's yeah, it was a rental recently, but I'm not sure if there's currently a renter in the house.
Okay. Is there any way that we can wait for Jessica to come in and give us more information?
You want to see if she was supposed to be here, so.
So Isabella Baker owns the house. Is she here in Nacogdoches?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
Okay. Currently in the medical district, we already have a historic overlay for another home, correct, in the 1950s home?
The adjacent house or structure was a medical office, and that
Okay.
was approved last year.
And that was Dr. Baker's house as well?
Yes, and they originally used that house to staff their medical, the medical staff in there.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then later it became a rental, and it was owned by several members of the community and.
Sure.
so-
Well, my question to you, and I'm sure Jessica can answer this, is that in putting the historic overlay, you know, what are the requirements that they need to maintain and uphold for them to keep this? Just to have an overlay and say that it's designated as a historic building? Okay, well, Jessica has to answer those questions. All right. Well, if she's not gonna be here, I think we should just
Table?
table it for the next meeting.
Okay.
If that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
I did a motion.
Yep, somebody can make a motion.
Make a motion that we table the discussion and consideration of action on the historic overlay case for HO 2025-02 regarding a historic overlay designation.
And I'll second.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Till next meeting. All right. Item 5B and 5C were removed, so the public should note that the following items marked 5B and 5C on tonight's meeting agenda will not be considered due to the applicant's request on March 2nd, 2026 for withdrawal from commission consideration. With no application before the commission, the public hearings for items 5B and 5C are dismissed and there will be no action taken. If any members of the public are present and have questions about these items, city staff will be available immediately following this meeting or during normal business hours later in this week. We'll now move on to item 5D. Right, discuss and consider action on specific use permit case, SUP 2026-02, regarding a specific use permit request for stone, sand, gravel, and mineral extraction from an R4 multifamily district on one parcel of land, approximately 28.2 acres, plus or minus in size, more particularly described by Nacogdoches Central Appraisal District Parcel 85393, and generally located north of Power Street between North Sanders Street and Old Tyler Road, Nacogdoches, Texas. Juan Paulette.
Thank you, Chair. Juan Paulette, City Planner. This property is approximately 28 acres and is located on the northwest corner of Power Street and Old Tyler Road. The surrounding areas include a mix of residential uses, undeveloped land, and some industrial uses to the east. The property was previously approved for the same use in January 2024 with the condition that the SUP would expire in 1 year. The applicant is requesting approval of a new SUP to continue the same operation for an additional year. No changes to the proposed operation, conditions, or scope of work from what was previously approved. The property is primarily zoned R4 multifamily with approximately 1 acre zone heavy industrial. The surrounding area includes a mix of residential zoning districts and undeveloped land with industrial zoning to the east. The future land use designation for this property is single-family residential. While mineral extraction is not a long-term compatible use for this designation, the activity is temporary and does not change the underlying zoning or future development potential of the property. Once the extraction activities are completed, the property will remain available for development consistent with a comprehensive plan. This slide shows a site plan for the proposed operation. The extraction activity will occur within the interior portion of the property while maintaining a vegetative buffer around the perimeter. Access to the site is taken from Power Street, and no changes are proposed to the layout, access, or operation from what was previously approved. And that's the picture of the entrance off of Powers. This slide shows the land uses within a 200-foot notification area. Staff sent out 38 notices to property owners within 200 feet and 33 notice postcards to those within 200 and 500 feet. No written responses have been received in favor or in opposition. A neighborhood meeting was held at the council chambers and none of the neighboring neighbors attended the meeting. Staff has reviewed the request based on the criteria and finds the proposed use continues to meet the conditions for approval. If approved, staff recommends the same conditions that were included in the previous approval. These include limiting hours of operation from 8 to 6, Monday through Saturday, preserving the 25-foot vegetative buffer around the property, maintaining stormwater erosion control measures, and providing street cleanup as necessary. The SUP would expire in 12 months, and the applicant has also submitted an updated stormwater pollution prevention plan. And this concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions after the public hearing.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up for the public hearing. Does anybody have any comments that they'd like to make? Okay, we're going to close the public hearing. Any questions for Juan Paulette?
This is that same property where it was like the weird designation of, what was it?
There's a conservation on it.
Conservation, that's what, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Same one.
So, and so is the SUP is the exact same, it's just a
Exact same.
continuation?
They're just continue it for another year, requesting.
Okay. Any other questions? Nothing's changed. The Hydrex report, nothing's changed at all.
No.
Okay.
Jerry, do we need to read each of the pieces to the SUP, or can we just say as presented? Thank God. I make a motion that we approve the specific use permit for case SUP 2026-02, with the specific use conditions as presented.
And I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? No. All right, motion carries for a specific use permit. Hello, Irie. Hey, Karen. Good to see you guys here. All right, we are moving on to, try to keep up here. 5E, discuss and consider action on subdivision case SD 2026-01 regarding a variance for Westmoreland Number 2, preliminary plat on one parcel of land approximately 2.12 acres plus or minus in size, or particularly described by Nacogdoches Central Appraisal District, parcel 247251, and generally located northwest of the intersection of Park Street and Northeast Stallings Drive, Nacogdoches, Texas.
Chair, Commissioners, Juan Paulette, City Planner. The proposed subdivision is a little over 2 acres and is located on the northwest corner of Park Street and Northeast Stallings Drive. The surrounding area is primarily undeveloped to the east, with commercial and residential development along Stallings Drive. The subject property and the property to the south are currently zoned B1 local business, and the surrounding properties are primarily zoned agricultural. This slide shows the proposed preliminary plat. The plat combines the southern portion of the two existing tracts, Lot 44D and 44F, into one lot. The plat meets the technical requirements for the subdivision ordinance. However, because sanitary sewer service is not currently available to serve the property, the plat does not qualify for administrative approval and must be reviewed by the Planning and Zoning Commission. This aerial photo shows the existing sanitary sewer locations in the area, as indicated by the green arrows to the north and south of the subject property. Because sewer service is not currently fronting the property, the applicant will need to extend sanitary sewer service along Stallings Drive in order to serve the proposed lot. Approval of the preliminary plat does not authorize construction of utilities, and separate engineering plans and city review will be required before those improvements can be constructed. In this slide, you can see the original configuration of lots 44D and 44F in relation to the proposed subdivision as outlined in orange. The applicant is requesting a subdivision variance related to the orientation of the side lot lines. Section 90-217B of the subdivision ordinance requires side lot lines to be perpendicular or radial to street frontage. The proposed lot configuration includes a northern property line that is not perpendicular to the street frontage and follows the existing public water line easement crossing the property, leaving residue land to the north of the easement. During discussions with the applicant, staff identified an alternate development approach that could allow the property to be subdivided in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. That option would involve relocating the existing water line along the adjacent right-of-way and abandoning the existing easement, which would remove the constraint affecting the lot layout. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Okay. In order to approve the variance. Planning and Zoning Commission must make 4 findings outlined in section 90-8 of the subdivision ordinance. The applicant states that the existing water line easement is a historical alignment of Shady Grove Road, influenced the proposed lot configuration. Utility easements are a common condition of development and by themselves do not automatically constitute a hardship. During discussions with the applicant, an alternate development was identified that could allow the property to be subdivided in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. No direct impacts to surrounding properties or public safety have been identified related to the orientation of the proposed lot lines. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Juan. I'm going to open it up for a public hearing. Does anybody want to?
This is not a
Oh,
public
sorry,
hearing.
this is a plat.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything was good, and you're stating that it's been approved by the city, and
Well, you'll have to approve the
well,
variance.
we'll approve the
Yeah.
variance, but
but-
in looking at the plans and everything, and subdividing the parcels, we are good to go on that. The way that we've done it to where it can actually get to the sewer easement and,
Yeah, if this, the preliminary plat is approved,
mhm.
then the developer will hire an engineer to or make the plans for the extension of the sewer, and
Okay.
then if approved, then they can move forward.
I don't mind
to the
jumping
final
in,
plat.
Commissioner. The issue is not necessarily the extension of the sewer.
Mhm.
We've identified what that route is, and that goes through existing right-of-way along Stallings.
Right.
There's already a plan for that, essentially. The issue at odds with this variance is just how the lot lines are drawn in this subdivision. So it doesn't really meet criteria, is what we're
Right.
stating, and the hardship is a challenge.
Okay. Yeah, it's a weird triangular shape. Okay. Anybody else have questions? Can I ask one more question on this? Subdividing it, it looks like 2 portions of it, right? It's gonna be a subdivision. Is that correct?
Yes, it'll be, any plat is considered a
Right, subdivision, but in the plat, is there an estimate of total homes that will actually be built on this?
This will be commercial.
For commercial,
Yes.
okay,
And
got it.
the applicant is here if you want to ask the applicant directly.
Absolute, well, that's all I needed to know, yeah. Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve that? Or if anybody has questions for Juan?
Nope, I'll make a motion to approve am I on the right one here? What is this?
5E.
5E, yep, there we go. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the subdivision case SD 2026-01 regarding a variance for Westmoreland Number 2 preliminary plat.
Okay. Those in favor? Oh, sorry, second?
I will
Is there a
second.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those just are against it, say nay. Okay.
Words are hard.
Motion carries.
Is that 3-0, Commission?
Yes,
Okay.
all unanimously approved. All right, moving on to 5F. Discuss and consider action on plan development case PD 2026-01 regarding a site plan for planned development district on one parcel of land approximately 9.5 acres plus or minus in size, more particularly described by Nacogdoches Central Appraisal District, parcel 203-177, and generally located south of West Austin Street, approximately 250 feet west of intersection of West Austin Street and Opal Drive, Nacogdoches, Texas. Juan Paulette?
Commissioners, Juan Paulette, City Planner. This item represents the final step in the plan development process for the Rockhaven Nursing Home. In August of 2025, the City Council approved the rezoning of 9.5 acre property from agricultural to planned development, along with associated development plan for the project. The approval established the permitted use, general building placement, development standards, and buffering requirements for the site. The applicant is now submitting the required site plan, which provides a detailed layout necessary to conform compliance with previously approved development plan and PD standards. The site plan shows a single-story skilled nursing facility located towards the southern portion of the property with internal circulation, fire access, drainage improvements, and utility connections. Also shown on the slide, encircled in green on the top left, is location of the proposed public utility easement that will allow the extension of sanitary sewer service from Austin Hills subdivision. Staff recommends, as a condition of approval, that this easement be recorded as a separate instrument for the county prior to the issuance of any building permits. This slide shows the proposed landscape plan for the development. The plan includes a 15-foot landscape buffer along the property lines adjacent to the agricultural zoning, consistent with the standards approved in the PD ordinance. In the top left corner is an example of the ordinance requirements for vegetative buffers. A buffer will provide separation between the development and the surrounding agricultural properties. The applicant also is preserving portions of the existing vegetation along West Austin Street and around the existing detention pond, maintaining a natural buffer between the development and the roadway. Based on staff review, this plan is consistent with the previously approved development plan and complies with applicable requirements of the plan development ordinance. This concludes my presentation.
Okay, is there, let's see here. We've already actually looked through this at one time several months ago, and the plan in itself looks similar to what we've seen.
Yes.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions for Juan? Okay, does anybody want to make a motion on this? Unless you have questions. Matt, do you have questions on this?
No, thank you.
Okay,
All right, then I will make a motion that we approve the plan development case PD 2026-01 regarding a site plan for a planned development district.
And I second.
all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously.
I like mountain laurels. They got good plants they're putting in there.
Yeah, different than crepe murders.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
All right, moving on to 5G, discuss and consider approval of subdivision case SD 2026-03 regarding a final plat for Majestic Oaks subdivision consisting of approximately 25.35 acres located on the east side of US Highway 259, approximately 1 mile north of US Highway 59. Wampler?
Wampler, City Planner. So this slide shows the proposed final plat for the Majestic Oaks subdivision. The subdivision consists of 37 residential lots, approximately 25 acres, and is located on the east side of US Highway 259 in the Central Heights community. The preliminary plat was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission in April of 2025, which included variances related to block length and street projections due to the rectangular configuration of the property. Commission later approved a 6-month extension in October of 2025. The subdivision is located within the city's ETJ, and the streets will be private and maintained by the homeowners association. The city will not be accepting or maintaining the streets. According to the submitted certifications from the project engineer and surveyor, the utility infrastructure has been installed in accordance with the approved plans. The roadway base has been installed, and the final asphalt surface improvements will be completed at a later date. Water service for the subdivision will be provided by the Angelina and Neches River Authority, and staff has reviewed the final plat for compliance with the Chapter 90 of the subdivision ordinance and finds that it conforms to the previously approved preliminary plat and associated variances.
Juan, any questions for Juan? We did go through this in depth. Well, I remember speaking about this. It was an extended portion of it that was a little bit more longer, correct? The
Right,
block was?
the block lengths,
Mhm.
and then the other one was projections outwards to neighboring properties.
Right. A quick question on this plat for a quick, when we're talking about thoroughfare for emergency vehicles, are they just one way in, one way out?
Yes,
Okay. How wide are those streets, do you know?
I believe the right of way is 60 feet.
60 feet. Is that large enough for a fire truck to get
Oh,
through and a car?
I'm not sure how wide they're gonna make the streets, but I know the right of way is 60 feet. The engineer's here if you.
Yes, I'd love to talk to them. How are you doing?
My name's Eddie Aguilar. I'm with EGA Consultants. We were the engineer and surveyor on the project. So the paved area is going to be a minimum of 24 foot,
Okay,
and that meets the city's requirements,
right.
minimum requirements for paved asphalt.
Anybody know how wide a fire truck is?
The minimum is 20 foot for a fire lane anywhere in the city, I believe. So we're exceeding that.
Okay, so then my question, sorry, this is gonna be a totally outward question, but parking on the streets, are there limitations or anything like that with HOA, do you know?
We didn't. The developers will be putting those restrictions together.
Right,
Yeah, HOA covenants wouldn't be created at this stage.
yeah, okay,
So, there's going to be ditches on each side of the road, so more than likely
they won't be
people-
parking on the side?
Yeah.
Okay,
So potentially they will.
well,
but,
that gives me
you know,
comfort,
Yeah. But people are going to park wherever they want to park.
right,
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting case for the commission, I think, because since the city would not be adopting these improvements, as they're not public improvements in
it's gonna be
particular.
private,
But we do have subdivision authority. We're not inspecting these roads or this infrastructure at the tail end to confirm completion. We wouldn't be doing the surety bond. Our name would not be on the surety bond in this case. So it puts the developer in an interesting situation with having to go through our process for approvals, yet not having the city be subjecting the subdivision to the normal process as we would being in city. Meaning we wouldn't be assuming any responsibility for this if it didn't complete.
right,
And it's at the very outskirts of the ETJ too.
right,
So it's,
yeah,
I
that's,
think part of the property is, I think the ETJ line cuts through it. So it's we're right adjacent to it. So it's.
But it's a larger issue with ETJ development. It's something we'll probably need to look at internally.
absolutely,
Because we expect more applications within our ETJ area. And we need to know what those consequences are if there are issues that, and I'm not saying this development would be one of those, but there may be issues where if developments don't come to fruition, how is that managed?
right,
And it may be a conversation that we have to have with the county in how we work together on some of these things that are kind of overlapping both of our jurisdictions.
absolutely, because if public services are sent out,
I
Work.
believe this is, and we didn't evaluate this from a plat standpoint, but I believe this is in an ESD. So we wouldn't be the first responders necessarily, but clearly we provide mutual aid all over the county. So.
right, okay. Any questions? Come on, guys.
Well, it just sounds like it's really, might be odd as the commissioner, really doesn't sound like it's our jurisdiction.
It's not our
really.
jurisdiction,
It's none of
I'm
my
just,
business
you
if
know,
they can get a fire
I
truck
know,
down there or
I'm
not,
thinking-
that's them.
Let me just add, this is more of a straightforward, does it comply or doesn't it comply? And the commission really has no wiggle room to provide
Right.
any discretion in its regard. It's really just a thumbs up or thumbs down. Does it meet criteria or not? Again, the caveat here is that there's probably a 2-inch layer of asphalt that's not completed here. But like I said, our jurisdiction is
not
in a
within our-
gray
yeah.
area in
okay.
that regard.
Well, definitely, okay. All right then, thank you very much for answering the questions.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay,
All right, then I will make a motion to approve the subdivision case SD 2026-03 regarding a final plat for Majestic Oak subdivision.
You were faster than me again, so I'm going to have to second this one.
I said I was gonna get home before 6 today, so.
those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. All right, I am now. We're gonna do 6 for future agenda items. Any commissioner may inquire about a subject for which notice has not been given, a statement or specific factual information or recitation of existing policy may be given. Any deliberation shall be limited to a proposal to place a subject on agenda for subsequent meeting. Does anybody have anything to place on the ETJs?
ETJ. What about ETJs?
Well,
Commissioner?
everything we've just discussed, let's have further discussions about that. What we can do about it, how to actually monitor for planning and zoning.
And the state's weighed in with different rules over the last 3 or 4 years as well, which kind of changes our calculus, so.
Sure.
Authority, let me see, staff representation.
It's gonna be very limited based on the legislature's action.
Yeah, that's okay, as
There
long
may
as
be-
we,
Yeah, I'm sorry, there may be some specific things we can ask the commission to weigh in on
Sure.
related to process.
okay,
I did want to add, I know this wasn't brought up, but this may be something that staff brings to the council before the commission meets again. That would be consideration of alternates for the commission. In addition to commissioners, there being alternates assigned in the event that quorum can't be established with the appointed commissioners.
absolutely.
Okay. Sometimes it ebbs and flows, and when there's business, if there's a delay, since the commission only meets once a month, we run into conflicts with state law.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, with that, the time is now, is it 5:30? 5:32. Wow, that was record time. It's really good to see our city engineers and prior city engineer back here. Really happy to see y'all. And so this meeting is adjourned at that